And welcome back to IGN's spectacular E3 live show, streamed on both e3.ign.com and YouTube. And although the NFL season is still a few months out, it's never too early to talk some Madden. The mega-selling franchise is back on the field, and here with us is senior producer Phil Frazier. Phil Frazier, tell us what's new.
Hey everybody, happy E3. Phil, what is the big new hot thing in Madden NFL 11? Why should everybody be so excited for this year's game?
I think that the biggest feature enhancement this year is game flow. It really changes the way you experience Madden. I think that the biggest way to summarize it, if I had just 10 seconds, is you no longer choose your own play. You can if you want to. The coach's assistant calls in a play for you, you execute that play, and you have a blast doing it.
Talk about game planning a little bit, because it's not entirely automated. The user has some control over what's happening on the field, over what plays are being called, right?
Absolutely.
Talk about game plan and how it's kind of authentic and gives you an authentic NFL feel.
Absolutely. The default game plans are built on the actual game plans used by NFL teams. So if you run with the Saints, for example, which I think is running in the footage right now, that game plan for you is actually built like the Saints run their offense. Now, if you want to go in and tweak it, if you like to run Wildcat every play, or if you like to throw on every single down, every situation, you can go in there on 1st and 10 and set passing plays on every single play. You can set running plays. You can do whatever you want to do to customize that game plan. And the great thing is the coach executes those plays. They call in the plays that you want. So if you want a high-powered offensive style gameplay, it's very easy for you to set up and execute that kind of game.
Now, Locomotion is a huge thing. I've written a lot about it in my previews. Tell me why it's a big deal, why it's big for animations, and just the general flow of the game and how it feels on the field.
Well, Locomotion is what ultimately drives the player movement in Madden. It's kind of our internal term for the animation system. And the great thing about Locomotion is when you change that, it completely changes the way the game feels. The game now feels like guys have momentum. They actually have to change direction instead of turning on a dime. And when you pick up the game and you play it for the first time, you're going to notice it the very first time you touch the ball. That's why that kind of change is so key to the Madden this year.
Two other things I wanted to talk about, big changes to the controller, right analog stick, and no turbo. What are you guys doing with the no turbo? I've been using that right trigger for so long to make my guy go faster. Now I don't anymore. What's the thinking there?
The great news is for guys like you still have that option. So if you want to turn that on, you want to be macho, go for it. It's all you. But what we were thinking was really quite simple. We actually looked at a lot of people playing the game, and they just held turbo down the whole time, probably like yourself. The problem,
why would you want to run faster, right?
Well, you think it's a good thing, but when you want to make a cut and you're holding turbo down, it actually slows you down. You don't make as sharp a cut when you have turbo down. So now, if you make those direction changes, we go ahead and make them for you. It's almost like you let go of turbo for a moment. You can make the sharp cut, and then when you're going straight, we auto turbo for you again. So it actually makes the game a lot easier. It's still authentic. It's still a lot of fun. You don't miss out on any functionality, and it's still a blast to play.
So talk about right analog stick. You just mentioned juking a little bit. I know it's kind of different this year, right? Like you can kind of sway your upper body in addition to the jukes that we remember.
Absolutely. One of the keys, the controller's got 12 buttons on it. Madden uses all 12 by default, of course. And a lot of people are intimidated by the fact that you use the triggers, the bumpers, the buttons, etc. The key with the right stick is you can play the entire game using both sticks. Of course, the left stick controls where you move on the field and how you get there. The right stick is all about basically your upper body. Do you lean forward, which covers the ball and decreases the chance of a fumble? Do you twist your body away from contact? It really sets up the game experience so that it's much easier to play, and it actually feels great using both sticks.
Talk about AI refinements a little bit. My last preview I wrote, I complained because the toe drag wasn't right. Well, it's my job. I critique things. I'm sorry.
You playing an early build, you got to cut it.
Right. But talk about the things that you fixed and the toe drag, which you just told me is good.
Toe drag is 100% good now.
All right.
100% good. I think, but the biggest thing in the AI front is blocking. It's a fundamental of football.
Huge, yeah.
And I'll be honest, you play Maddens of old, when you have a guy ahead of you, you're running behind him, you like to think he's going to pick up that key block, but 9 times out of 10, he'd turn the wrong way and you end up more frustrated than anything else. We completely rewrote blocking this year. You actually have lead blockers that go out there and attack the defense. They go after a guy, they lock on him, and they make that big block so you can follow him and pick the right side. We've actually got double team blocks. It's a really solid experience. Now, running the ball is a blast. You talk about toe drags, of course, so yes. I'll hit on that.
Yes,
you gave us so much.
I know.
You were giving us so much crap. In the build you played a couple weeks ago, of course, it wasn't working quite right, and you gave us some flack, which you should.
Yeah,
we're promoting a feature that doesn't work.
Yes, exactly.
We've got to work into the game. If you've got a receiver who's making a catch near the sideline, he's going to work to keep both feet in bounds. Same thing in the back of the end zone. It looks phenomenal. We got a lot of great new animations there, and it's great in those situations. You don't have to worry about the guy taking a bad step to get out of bounds.
So co-op play. Online co-op last year was bad. Right? You don't even have to comment. It was bad. Okay.
I'll take your word for it.
This year it's not though. This year it's good, right? Online team play is a whole new thing. It's like 3 versus 3, 2 versus 3. You guys did a lot more than that, though. Just talk about it and tell everybody why it's cool.
I'm going to defend online co-op just
Oh
briefly.
my gosh!
It was an experiment for us. When we look at the sport of football and we look at people playing together, we wanted to understand how people experience Madden that way. So and online co-op was a test. So the fact that some are disappointed, and you can throw yourself in that category, is okay. We actually used that. We got a lot of telemetry. We watched how people play. We did a lot of play testing, and of course we turned that into online team play. It's 3-on-3. So me, you, and your sister can get online and play on one team. You can be the quarterback, I can be the running back, your sister can be wide receivers. You focus on squads. It's a blast to play.
It is a blast to play. I can attest to it.
You have a camera that's locked on you. So if I'm the wide receiver, the camera's actually centered on me. I execute as a wide receiver. I don't have to worry about everything else. My job is to run routes and catch balls. Your job is to drop back and try to hit me. There's a lot of smack talk. I think that's one of the surprising aspects of OTP, you call it OTP internally, is the amount of smack talk. It completely changes what your experience in Madden. It's not just about I'm gonna crush you, which I probably could. Now it's about, hey, you got to
give me the controller. It's not me.
Maybe later, but now it's about hey, you got to give me the ball. I'm wide open. It's a great experience.
No, it is. It's great. I played it a few weeks back, and it's really is a lot of fun.
We've actually got it on show here at the show, so for the first time, people can actually get to experience it.
Talk about you didn't mention accomplishments that are like the power boosts that you get in online team play. They're not actually power boosts. You don't get like superpowers or anything, but talk about the accomplishments and what they do.
So the key thing is we wanted people to feel like they can become good at a certain position in the game. So if you like to play quarterback all the time, there are actually milestones that you can achieve that allow you to play a little bit better in your position. So if you have a 300-yard game, 350-yard game as a quarterback, you're going to unlock a very small attribute boost for that particular squad. You can do that in all the different squads. So we have quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers. On offense, you have defensive line, linebackers, and secondary on defense. And it allows you to specialize in a certain part of the play instead of having to worry like, well, you might get to be the quarterback all the time. You can actually say, yeah, I want to be the quarterback. That's the funnest position, or the most fun. And when I play that position, I want to get a boost. So it adds a little bit of when you log out and you come back in, it remembers all that stuff, and it's nice when you get your guys together to play together as a team.
Right. Any other final thoughts you think people should know about Madden? Any final sales pitch about?
I think game flow is one of those features that when you hear about it on the surface, you sound like, I don't know. Is that really for me? You play games in half the time, and not everybody has an hour and 10 minutes to play a full game of Madden. Now you can play a game of Madden in 30 minutes. It's the same number of plays, which is the amazing thing. You're not getting any less Madden, you're just getting in half the time. It's a lot more fun, it's authentic, the game plays great. We got Madden Graw on August 10th, when the game comes out. You're hooking us up as well. I mean, it's going to be a great experience overall. We really can't be any more excited to finally let people play the game for the first time at E3 this year. And, here's to August 10th.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot for coming by, Phil. The game looks great. Now, send it back to Dave.
As always, thanks for your time. I'm sure you made some football fans very happy just now. And if you guys want even more updates from the show floor, don't forget to check out e3.ign.com. Next up, we're going to trade pigskin for golf carts as we take a look at Tiger Woods' PGA Tour 11, complete with PS Move motion controller support. It's going to be a swinging good time. We'll see you in a few.